Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about A Madea Christmas. So this was my first experience with a Madea movie. I've heard good things about them. My coworker at my last job highly recommended these movies. She said they're just absolutely hilarious and she's like, you gotta check them out, you gotta check them out. And I love a good comedy, so it was inevitable that I would, you know, check one of these movies out. I was curious. I was like, are they funny? Are they good? I don't know. So I'm glad that I finally did check out one of these movies, and just to give you all my overall opinion, I was a fan of this. I thought, it was a solid little Christmas movie. I enjoyed myself. So yeah, I'm glad I checked it out. Before I get too deep into the review, I'm going to give you all a little plot summary here. So, the movie centers around this young woman, Lacey. She's a teacher in this small town in Alabama, and the town is pretty much like struggling financially. They every year they have this, kind of like Christmas festival. They call it the Christmas Jubilee. It's a it's a tradition, and the funds are so tight. They're not going to be able to do it this year. They don't think they're going to be able to do it, and the town is, they're in this like uproar. Everyone is just losing it because they're down on their luck. It's like a farming town. Things aren't going well with crops. A bunch of people got laid off from their jobs and stuff. So it's like they were looking forward to this. They were looking forward to this Christmas Jubilee. So that's getting canceled. And Lacey, she is talking with her ex-boyfriend. He has some big job. I forgot what it, like specifically what his job was, but they kind of had some bad publicity. So he's like, "Oh yeah, I could probably get you some money, and we could put on the Christmas Jubilee and help the school and all that, and it would help you, and it'd also help, my company look good because we recently had some bad publicity." So yeah, Lacey's ex-boyfriend offers to help out, and it looks like the Christmas Jubilee is going to happen, and Lacey is currently living with her husband, but she hasn't really told her mom anything about her life because her mom is kind of a control freak. She wants to control every aspect of her life, so she kind of just like lied to her mom, didn't really tell her that much info. So Lacey's mom calls her up. She's like, "Oh, you coming to Atlanta for Christmas?" And like Lacey's like, "Oh, I'm so busy. I'm trying to put on this Christmas Jubilee, blah blah blah." And then, you know, um, Lacey's mom and Madea are like, "You know what? Let's just go surprise her. Let's drive down there. We'll do Christmas in Alabama." So Lacey's mom and Madea come through, and Lacey's living with her husband, but she won't even tell her mom that that's her husband. She says it's like, "Oh, that's like my farmhand," and basically her husband's parents come through. Her husband's dad is played by Larry the Cable Guy, and he's super funny in the movie. But there's this whole tension where uh, the mom doesn't know that this gentleman there is her husband because, like I said, the mom's a control freak, and she's kind of old school too, and they're like a mixed race couple, and she's not really like into all that. So Lacey doesn't want to like break the news to her and have her flip out. So yeah, the throughout the movie, you got both families there, and there's just like constant conflict. Like they're just ruffling each other's feathers, and like throughout the movie, Lacey is trying to gather the courage to tell her mom that this is her husband, and while this is happening, there's this conflict with, you know, the ex-boyfriend giving her the money, and you know, they get the money to do the Jubilee, and they get like additional money to help the kids and help the school, but it's like the company's making them change everything. And then they realize that this company actually put this company in town out of business, and that's like why a bunch of people in the town got laid off. So there's like a big conflict where it's like they want the Christmas Jubilee to go on, but they don't want this company that kind of effed them over coming through, and then they're changing everything. Like everyone in the town, it's like a small knit community, and they're all like Christians, and they're like, yeah, you can't have anything related to like Christianity in the Jubilee, and everyone is just like flipping out. They're like, what the heck? So that's the basic premise of the movie. So now I'm gonna get into, you know, some just random thoughts about the movie. So the first thing that I want to touch on is I was kind of surprised. Like, this movie was not what I expected. I thought this was just gonna be more of a straight up comedy, and it really was like barely a comedy. It was more of a drama. It kind of felt like a Hallmark Channel like holiday movie, which I'm not saying that in a bad way. I enjoyed this movie. It was like a fun little holiday movie. It had some heart. Like, it was enjoyable, but I've never seen a Madea movie, and I don't know if the other ones kind of like lean more towards the comedy side, but like other than Madea, like the character of Madea, and then, you know, Larry the Cable Guy's character, they were kind of like the comic relief. Other than that, like everyone else in the movie pretty much played it straight, and the only kind of like comedic situations were when like Madea was on screen. Like everything that's centered around the main characters, it was just like a straight drama. And like I said, I thought the story was good, so I didn't mind that, but I was just kind of confused because like I just went in with like different expectations. I just thought this was going to be more of a straight up comedy, but even though I think it was more of a drama than a comedy, I wouldn't even call it a dramedy. Like, it was more just a straight up drama in my opinion. But even though it was more of a drama than a comedy, I thought the comedy that was there was pretty on point. All the stuff with Madea was absolutely hilarious. Madea, like Tyler Perry as Madea, was hilarious throughout the movie. Pretty much any wacky situation that involved Madea, it was like laugh out loud funny. And Madea had all these funny like Madea-isms, like she would always pronounce everything like extremely wrong, but it would be like, I don't know, it would be funny. Like, I don't know, I can't really explain it, but she would like Madea would just say everything wrong, and it would be like the funniest thing ever. And then she just had so many like iconic lines and catchphrases, and she just had kind of her own lingo, and she was kind of just she was like Lacey's great aunt, I believe, but she was just like that cool older aunt. Like, she just didn't care. Like, that's Larry the Cable Guy's character was like that too. Like, they were just like real ones. They were like, they would just be like, if they were your aunt or uncle or whatever, like they would just be like mad cool. Like they would be like cool to have a drink with. So Madea was absolutely hilarious. I liked pretty much like every sequence with Madea, but they're like in the beginning of the movie, Medea's working at this department store, and some of the funniest stuff happens during that little segment. It's just like a little brief segment in the beginning of the movie, but Madea is just straight like flaming customers. Like, like customer service level 0, -5. Like when people will come to her, just like ask her for like genuine advice. Like the one standout moment in the department store, there was like so many good moments, but the one standout moment was when this like older lady, she like comes through and she's like, yeah, you know, I'm trying to buy some lingerie. And Medea's like, for who? Like for your daughter? For your niece? And she's like, no, for me. And then Medea's like, oh, yeah. Like I'm paraphrasing. I'm probably getting the line totally incorrect, but who cares? But Medea's like, oh yeah, like yeah, you don't need lingerie. Like you're past that phase. You're too old for that. She's like, you want to go across the street. You want to go to the big section. You want to get something to wrap around your whole body. And she was just like straight flaming this lady. It was absolutely hilarious. I was laughing out loud. So all the stuff with Madea was absolutely hilarious. And I think like Tyler Perry killed it as Madea in this movie. But I'm gonna move on here. But yeah, Madea, super funny character. But anyways, moving on. There was, you know, some familiar faces, recognizable actors in this. So I already mentioned Larry the Cable Guy. He's the Lacey's husband's dad. He's great in the movie. Lacey's mom is Craig's mom from Friday. She's in a bunch of stuff, but what's her name? Anna Maria Horsford. I don't know. But I've seen her in countless stuff. But I mainly know her as Craig's mom from Friday. So it's good to see her. The one of the characters in this movie. There's this kind of like subplot with this kid where he works on a farm, but he's like a genius, and his dad is kind of an a-hole. He like bullied Lacey's husband back in the day, and he eventually gets Lacey fired, but there's kind of like a subplot with his character as well, but he's played by Chad Michael Murray, which I know him mainly from the House of Wax remake, and like I'm not the biggest fan of that movie, but I do like that movie. But I like that whole era of remakes, like the 2000s and like early 2010s, like horror remake era. I like that era. So yeah, the House of Wax remake is pretty decent. But I was like I know that guy from somewhere the whole time I'm watching the movie, and I looked it up after. I'm like, oh snap, it is the guy from House of Wax. And then there's like some random quick cameos towards the end from some viral YouTube sensation. So they have Sweet Brown makes a cameo from the famous YouTube video where she's like, ain't nobody got time for that. And I was like, I think I like said it out loud, like I was watching this movie. I'm like no way, they got Sweet Brown in this movie. I mean, she's awesome. She rocks. There was like I used to watch Tosh.0 a lot, and she got, I think it was like a web redemption or a celebrity profile or something. But I mean that video with her, that's a classic. And then you got the Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife guy. I think it's Antoine Dotson, or it's kind of a weird spelling. I'm just gonna say Antoine Dotson. I could be butchering that. I'm sorry, but it's the Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife guy. He makes a cameo, and it's like right after Sweet Brown. So I don't know. I just kind of like both of those videos. Those are like classic viral videos, classic YouTube videos, like iconic. I guess, would you call it a meme? I don't know. I guess. Yeah, I'm just gonna say iconic memes because they made memes of them. But yeah, that was like those were just such like blink and you miss it cameos towards the end. But I really liked that they, you know, added those like, you know, classic YouTubers from like classic. Well, I don't know if they're YouTubers, but they're on YouTube. But like people from classic YouTube memes. I like that they added that. I thought it was fun. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, that's pretty much all the familiar faces that I recognize. I mean, I of course recognize Tyler Perry. Um, Not that I haven't really seen any of his movies before, but I mean, he's like super famous. Like, of course I know who he is. But yeah, so there it was cool. There was some familiar faces that I wasn't really expecting. So that was pretty fun. And I have one other thing that I want to talk about. So, and then I'm gonna head out. So the ex-boyfriend, they try to make him out like he's this just like terrible guy for a couple reasons. So, you know, his company put the company, big company in town, out of business, right? So they kind of try to make him look like a bad guy for that. But you know, yeah, that is effed up. But it's like he's giving you $100,000, and then the main girl Lacey, she's like so ungrateful. Everyone in the town is ungrateful. They're like they like want the Christmas Jubilee to go on so bad, but then someone gives them money to like put it on and help their school, and then like if you have such a problem with it, turn down the money. But they take the money, and they're just like, oh, these are terrible people. Like they gave us like they put this company out of business, but I mean they're giving us $100,000 and helping us out and helping the school, but they're terrible people. It's like they don't have to give you anything. And what I'm supposed to believe as like an audience member, that like this ex-boyfriend guy is so bad for like giving you $100,000, like, and then yet they kind of try to make him look like a bad guy too, because he's kind of doing it to get closer to Lacey because he wants to get back with her. But like at one point, like he like tries to kiss her and stuff, but Lacey never, like, you're supposed to think like, oh, well, he's a bad guy because she's married and he's trying to, you know, break up her marriage. But she never even tells anyone in the entire movie that she's married. She doesn't tell him that she's married until like after he makes a move. So I don't, like, yeah, if she's married, and then if the guy knew that she's married and he made a move, that's not cool. But he didn't know. He thought she was single. So in my opinion, he really didn't do anything wrong. And then it's like his company's giving them $100,000, and then they're all mad because they're like, oh, well, they have to take, we can't say anything about, Christianity, which if they're Christians, I get, they would want that incorporated, but for like a business thing, it makes sense because they want it to be more objective. They want, like, they don't want to like affiliate with like one religion. They want to kind of like, this is just a neutral event. They want it to be like more neutral. They're like, you can still have Santa and you could sing like Santa related Christmas songs. You just can't have it be too much of a religious theme, which in my opinion, that seemed like a reasonable request. Like, I get that they're Christians and they're passionate about it, but it's like, you gotta pick and choose. It's like they're giving you $100,000, like you're at their mercy. You kind of have to adhere to their like terms and conditions. So I don't know. I think I'm overthinking the story, but I thought that was weird because like I'm getting into spoilers here, so this is a warning. At this point, I'm getting into spoiler territory. But like during the climax of the movie, Lacey's like she kind of like almost like blackmails the company into giving her like more money and giving the town more money, and it's like, to me it just seems like ungrateful. Like you already got this money, and it's like, yeah, you kind of had to adhere to their terms and stuff, and it's like, yeah, they did kind of F over the town in the past, but it's like they're making amends, and it's like, yeah, business, like they shut down a business, but it's like businesses shut down. It's like, I don't know, I feel like that company, like that was supposed to, though they were supposed to be like the bad guys, that they're like, that was like the big conflict, and like I feel like they weren't that bad. Maybe I'm crazy, but then the thing is too, like, she's like asking for all this money at the end, and you can see the ex-boyfriend, he's just like shaking his head like, you're like ruining this guy's career. Like, you're just, I don't know. I think I'm tripping. I think I'm overthinking this movie. It's just a fun Christmas movie, and like I said, I had a fun time. But that's kind of what's fun to do, is just come on here. Like, if I just came on here and was just like, you know, like a total suck up, and I was like, every movie's the best and it's the best. Like, you kind of gotta like pick movies apart a little bit. That's like kind of fun. But yeah, that was the last thing I want to touch on. But overall, I was a fan of this. Like I said, this movie did have a lot of heart. I liked all the drama, and I don't know, it was like a feel good Christmas movie. Like, you know, everything worked out, and you know, there was like a lot of, it was like very family oriented, and it was kind of, it kind of like showed like the struggles of like family dynamics, but then like at the end of the day, everyone, you know, kind of made amends and learned to live with each other. So it's a nice, you know, family drama with like a lot of heart, and it's, you know, like a solid feel good Christmas movie. And you know, you got some familiar faces. I think the comedy was on point. Larry the Cable Guy killed it. Tyler Perry killed it as Madea. So even though I did kind of pick apart that one story element a little bit, I'm just having fun here. But yeah, in terms of a recommendation, I would recommend this. I think this is a fun Christmas movie. I think this is a solid Christmas movie. So, you know, if you're looking for another little Christmas movie to watch, you know, definitely check out, you know, A Madea's Christmas. A Madea Christmas, not A Madea's Christmas. A Madea Christmas. I'm messing up. I should write a script or something. No, I'm just playing. I'm not gonna do that. That's not my thing. But anyways, yeah, that's my recommendation. So I'm gonna head out here. Thank you all very much for watching, and peace out.